Hello everybody, it's Stephen and Walter from Sydney, Australia, and this is December, oh my god, I'm tired. March, today is March, that's right, March the 28th. And so tomorrow here in Australia, it will be Good Friday. For those of you over in North America, that won't have happened yet. If you see this before then, or if you don't, it might have. But whatever. Who knows? Trust us. So yeah, right now where we're sitting, it's March the 28th, the day before Good Friday. So what have we been up to today? Well, I have some footage that I'm going to put in after we've had our little discussion here for you to see. And but we're going to talk a little bit about what we did last night. Last night we went to dinner with my nephew and his partner. We had never met his partner, Jack, before, and my nephew's name is Harrison. And we haven't seen Harrison. We were trying to figure that out last night between us all. And we know we saw him at my father's 75th birthday party. And that was, we figured how many?
2014, wasn't it?
Was it 2014?
It was 10 years ago. Your dad passed away 2014.
No, he passed away in 2014.
Yeah, okay. So it might have been 2013 or 2012 or whatever.
I think it was 2012. I think it might have been I had just retired.
Yeah.
I think, and that's been 12 years. But anyway, so that was the last time we saw Harrison. He's kind of grown up now. I don't know if he was finishing up high school or was doing a year of university.
Yeah, he was finishing up high school. He was talking about going to university.
That's right. And well, he's now this year he turns 30. So how time flies when you're having fun. But we caught up on a lot of things. And it was really good to see him. We had drinks first, and the guy that he is with is a really nice guy as well. So I think he did well. Good catch there. Both of them have very good careers, great jobs. I think their jobs involve some traveling every now and then as well, but I think they're doing pretty well for themselves. So unfortunately, we couldn't spend more than just last night with them, so we went for dinner after we had drinks, and that was a pricey little place.
Yeah.
For what it was. I mean, the food was okay. It was basically a little hole-in-the-wall Italian place, but it was the wine that killed us all because we ordered 2 bottles of wine during the course of dinner, and it wasn't, in other circumstances, not an expensive wine. What was it, a Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was what, $72
a bottle.
$72 a bottle. That, even by Canadian standards in a restaurant, that's pricey for it. So, and we basically paid the bill for them. You know, they're young guys. Who knows?
Well, no, they paid for
our drinks and after.
And we had an after dinner drink.
Yeah, and we had a drink my nephew really likes, and so I'd never heard of it. What was it called?
Negroni. I've heard of
Negroni?
Yeah.
I've never had Negroni. It was okay. It was different. We don't drink mixed drinks usually. We're just wine and beer people. Mm-hmm. And but it was fine. It was the food. I thought what I had, I just had a pizza. I had a margarita pizza. But I think we all had pizzas, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ended up.
I think they started talking about pasta.
Yeah.
The only thing I was looking at a pasta, but I wasn't really super starved.
No. I wasn't either. And because not that we had eaten a lot yesterday.
No.
Okay, because what did we have for lunch yesterday? God, don't ask me to remember yesterday.
I had that wrap and you had a salad.
Oh, that's right. That's right. At that ribbon burger or something place. Yeah.
Yeah, you had a Mediterranean salad.
Yeah.
And I had a piri chicken wrap.
Yeah. So anyways, we had a really nice time, caught up on lots of family information and whatnot. And so that was really nice. And we got home here. It was going on to almost midnight. So I decided to tune in to Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen to see everybody. And we didn't stay on very long because we were tired. We wanted to go to bed. I don't know how Philippa does it. Philippa comes on a regular basis, and for her, it's like when we start in North American time at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's 11 o'clock at night in Brisbane. and Brisbane's like an hour behind Sydney. Different time zones for the two places. Australia's a big place. Looks like an island on the map, but it's not. It's a big place.
It's the size of the United States.
Yep, size of the United States in terms of land mass. But anyway, so said hi to everybody that was there at the time, and then I got an email this morning, and it said, "Hi, I saw your video about the retreat. Can you sign me up for it, please?" I went, oh, somebody else who didn't pay attention to the video, but it's in the video. It says you can't sign up for it until April the 20th. So I proceeded to write a reply back, and then I looked at the address again and saw it was Jan. She was pulling my leg. Well, she sucked in a couple of other people to do the same thing as well. Because they knew that I had made a point of making sure people knew they couldn't sign up until April the 20th, because we were not going to be home, for one thing. So anyways, yeah, funny Jan, if you're watching this, ha ha, I'll get you, my pretty. So, yeah, and we went to bed. This morning we had to go and pick up the rental car, because we'll be needing that for tomorrow. Walter was just pretty much uptight about, how do I get the car from the rental place into the underground parking where we're staying right now? The car rental place is only a couple of blocks away, like not far. But it's one-way streets. And of course...
And I hadn't driven on the left for...
Right.
Left. You drive on the left-hand side of the road here. We drive on the right-hand side of the road.
Oh, yeah, right.
But you sit in the right-hand side of the car here.
Yeah.
And in Canada, you sit on the left-hand side of the car, same with the U.S. So you're sitting in a different perspective in the car. So it's hard to gear where the other side of the car is, to me, because I'm not used to sitting in that perspective. So
now, getting the rental car was easy. The paperwork and all that stuff wasn't a problem.
And they didn't give me the one that I asked for, which is typical rental car.
I don't think we've ever had one we've asked for.
No, I know. So they gave me a bigger one, which I'm not that happy with, but I've got it.
Yeah.
It's more like the size of my own car. So.
Well, so you should be, once you get used to driving on the wrong side of the road, you should be okay with it. So no problem getting the car from the rental place to the parking garage here and going under. The problem was, first of all, the parking garage is really full. So it's got a lot of levels, so we had to go down and around, looking for a hole. Found a hole in one spot. I actually had to get out of the car and direct Walter into it.
Yeah, well, it's in this corner, and there's a big pillar on one side, and I'm paranoid you're going to hit the pillar. So, I didn't want, at first I got it parked and it was crooked, and I was really close to the car next to me, and I have to get out on that side. So we maneuvered it a bit again to get it into the spot. So.
And Walter has to get used to getting out of the car. I've never seen anybody get out of the car with their rear end first. Might have been one of the reasons why. I mean, I should have got that on video because that was hilarious. Watching this, it's coming, this big black bum coming out. Can he get it out? There it goes. Yeah, talk about awkward. I don't know, after tomorrow, I'm sure the driving part will be much easier.
Yeah, once we get going, it'll be okay.
And everything.
And it'll take a little few tries to get the hang of getting it into a parking space. So.
Now, tomorrow's Good Friday, so we are hoping the traffic here in the city, in Sydney, will be a lot less than it normally is. It should be, because everything's closed. As far as we know, everything is closed because it's Good Friday. So, it shouldn't be too bad. But who knows? We'll find out, I guess. And then we're making our way tomorrow up to a place called Newcastle. And it's only, 2 hours away?
It's about 3 hours, actually.
Oh, is it? You lied to me. You told me.
Well, I thought it was 2 hours, but it's...
You lied. You lied.
Yeah.
Not that we're any particular
Yeah, we'll
rush.
take our time to drive up that way.
And from what we've heard, there's not a heck of a lot to see in Newcastle. I don't think.
There's like a beach. There's a few.
Yeah,
there's a
so
fort.
we'll just be looking
There's
at
an old
nature.
fort.
There's an old fort.
Fort,
Oh.
and so we'll wander around there a bit and stuff like that. I don't know where we'll eat. Well, we get there, sorry.
Yeah, we're still both a little jet lagged.
Yeah, and I don't know where we'll eat. We'll figure it out. There is a restaurant in the hotel, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Whatever. Yeah, so that's what we did last night, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. So today we wandered down to a part called Darling Harbour, which is part of Sydney. It's sort of waterfront. Well, it's a harbor
Yeah,
and a
it's
marina.
Marina, yeah.
But there's a ton of different poshy style. Well, like not necessarily poshy style restaurants. They are expensive restaurants because it's a tourist trap. And we were down there the last time we were in Sydney, we were in that area, but they've changed a lot of it. And you'll see what we're talking about when you see the video after we're finished talking here. They've added a
we were
hotel.
a little bit confused. We saw
Yeah.
some stuff we saw before, but then there's they've added some buildings down there. So it's I remember last time we were here, we went in a certain spot where had all these tables in a flat area, and that area seems to be gone.
Yeah. So we did find a place and had lunch. Actually, it was Bargoon at first for the lunch because they had a lunch special. They had about 5 things that you could choose from, and it included a drink, whether you wanted a glass of wine or a beer. So for $25, 25 Aussie dollars. Well, you can't go anywhere at home, even or anywhere around here, and get a lunch for $25. That includes a drink as well. So we both had the chicken parm. They do their chicken parm, which is kind of interesting. I think we should try that the next time we make chicken parm. Except I've used a little thicker piece of ham. They had a slice of ham on top of the breaded chicken, and then the mozzarella cheese. So it was more like almost like a deconstructed cordon bleu, chicken cordon bleu. It was okay. It came with fries and with greens, which they call
mesclun, but it's
mesclun.
It's sort of like mixed.
Just mixed greens.
Mixed greens, yeah.
With a vinaigrette on it. The vinaigrette was very nice. I liked the vinaigrette that was on it. So then we decided to have a second beer. Okay. The second beer cost $12.50 each. Yeah. So there goes the cheap lunch in a sense with that. Now, mind you, this is Aussie dollars. It cost us a little less than that when it gets converted to Canadian dollars. It's about 15% less. So, yeah, always have to remember that. And the one thing, and you've heard us say about this before, which is really nice here, when Walter came back from, like, you order, and I have a video showing that. Here in Australia, most things are not really table service as we know it in North America. You go up to the counter and you order what you want from the menu, your drinks, your main course, all that kind of stuff. You pay for it then, and they give you a number, or you tell them the number of your table. Your table may have a number on it, and when they get it all done, they bring it out to you, and that's how it's done. The tax is included in that price. There is no tipping. If you were to try and tip them, they would look at you very funny because there's no tipping here. And so 2 lunch specials at $25 a piece came to exactly $50. In Canada, they might run, it's a $25 special plus tax, which would make it closer to $30.
Plus people, if you got table service, there'd
be a tip on top of it.
On top of that.
So, that's kind of a nice thing here, More countries should do that. And see, I think they get a really good, as servers, I know in the States, servers are paid horribly. In our country, the servers make at least the minimum wage, which is about, what's the minimum wage?
$16.
$16. I'm not sure what minimum wage here is in Australia. Oh, Walter's looking that up. But they get paid better. So they aren't relying upon tip money to supplement whatever they're making, which is more the habit in the States especially, but in North America, across North America, depending on where you're at. So did you find it?
Yeah, currently the minimum wage is $23.23.
Wow. $23 and
23 cents.
23 cents. Wow.
And actually, when we were talking to our nephew last night, he said that an average worker here in Australia gets automatically 5 weeks holidays every year, right? And then on top of that, you can, I don't know if it's his business alone or it's right across the board, but he gets a certain number of sick days every year. I don't know how many he said. I think he said it's something like 15 or
something like that.
Anyway, so if he doesn't use the sick days, he can use them as holidays too.
And they're cumulative over the years.
Yeah, so he says you can accumulate as many as however many you want, and then end up taking a couple of years early retirement.
Yeah. So there you go. That's very civilized. In Canada, we don't have that. In fact, if anything, in our province, the government's been stripping away sick days from people. Teachers used to have quite a few sick days. But
I could get, depending on how many years of service I worked, I could get more and more weeks of holidays. So before I retired, the last few years I was working, I got 6 weeks of holidays, but then I only got 6 sick days a year. And if you didn't use them, you lost them.
Yeah.
So
another benefit about living here. We were younger.
And he seemed to think that he was living in Britain, in England, in London actually, and before he moved here. And he said his wages are better here than they were in Britain.
Britain. So, yeah. So it's a possibility. Like if you're thinking of immigrating, you might want to come to Australia. Although I didn't really ask Harrison this in too much detail, but he said if you're young and you're here on a work visa, which he is, it is much easier to stay here than if you're older. Yeah. And I heard once, and I don't know if it's true, that if you want to come as an older person, come here and to immigrate, you have to work for so many weeks or months or even maybe a year on a farm or some farm related. I don't know if that's true. I don't know why he even said that. I'm sure there'll be some of the Australians there will set me straight on that. Please do, because I don't know where I heard that. It doesn't make sense to me that you'd have to do that. But then again,
I would imagine you would have to, if you're older and you're retired and you wanted to retire in Australia, like stay retired in Australia, you would have to prove that you could afford to
live here.
To live here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a burden on the government or on the economic situation of the country, probably. Well, anyway, so yeah, we had lunch down in Darling Harbour, and we'd walked around there, looked at things, see the video and that, and then we decided we needed to go to Woolies, which is called Woolworths. And for Americans, this is not the same as the old Woolworths that used to be in the United States and in Canada many, many, many years ago. Totally different business.
It's actually a grocery store.
It's actually a grocery store. And we went in there to get some more water. Been drinking, we need to drink more water. More and more water. That's why I was drinking here. Yes, it was water. It was not vodka. I don't drink, or white wine. But we picked that up. And actually, bottled water here, I just said to Walter before we started doing this, it was 80 cents for bottled water, just plain bottled water, not a sparkling. 80 cents.
It's a 2-liter bottle.
Was it a 2 liter?
I think it's a 2-liter bottle.
I thought it was only a liter and a half, but
maybe it's a liter.
I think it's a liter and a half of water. 80 cents. 80 cents. If they can do that here in Australia, why can't we do that in Canada? Canada has the greatest number of freshwater lakes of any country in the world. Why then are we paying $3 for a bottle of plain water?
We drink the tap water, so.
Well, they drink tap water here too.
Yeah, well, we have a filter on our
fridge. Yeah, I guess. But still, I mean, But lots of people buy bottled water all the time, and it's like, it's a lot cheaper here.
Yeah.
You know, like sparkling waters and things like that. Yeah, they're pricier than that, but 80 cents. 80 cents. So, yeah. But the bargain of the day, after we got our water and we're going to eat in tonight, we just got a thing to make a Mediterranean salad, and we bought a couple of bottles of red wine as well, because we thought we'd have a little bit of red wine, not necessarily 2 bottles of it, but we wanted to get it because tomorrow all the liquor stores and everything will be closed, so you know, everybody else had the same thought because the liquor store was busy. So we're looking at the red wines, and you know, when you're in a different country and that your usual brands are not necessarily there, and there's other brands you've never heard of, and the prices really jump all over the place, we see a bottle of Wolf Blass Cabernet Merlot Cabernet, and it's $7 for a 750 milliliter standard size bottle of wine. We have Wolf Blass in our
might
liquor
do that
store.
to ship it from here.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I didn't think about that. That might be why. Is twice that price. Actually, more than twice that price.
Yeah.
It's
more like 20.
More like $20 for a bottle. So we bought 2. But here's the real kicker. So when it gets translated into Canadian dollars, it's even cheaper than that. So we got 2 bottles of red wine, decent red wine, brand name red wine, for $13, for $12 and some odd cents Canadian. Yeah. It can be done, Canada. Why isn't it? Of course, we don't.
Well, actually, you are in our own country. Buying Australian wine or buying foreign wines are cheaper sometimes.
Yeah, than buying
domestic wines.
Than buying the Ontario-made wines. Yeah, that's very true. It's a weird business. So, anyways, we did that, and yeah, now we're just like sitting here, feeling a little bit of pain in our feet, and that.
We did a lot of walking.
We did a lot of walking, which is good for us.
Yeah, I think we walked 20 kilometers yesterday.
Yeah. So anyways, yep. So tomorrow we're off to Newcastle, as we already said. And hopefully Walter will not scrape me off on the side of the road as he tries to drive next to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll be screaming, shoulder, get off. And okay. Hope you have a good Easter. And here is today the video that I took, the clips. Enjoy. So this is Darling Harbor. It is sort of a recreational type park. Fountains, this is part of it, as Walter says. And it has, like, down further, there's restaurants and other things going on there as well. I think it's a very popular part of the city. Somewhat tourist trappy, you know, because you're going to expect to pay a little bit more for food down here because of that. But it's very pretty, very nice, and I'll show you some more in a bit. And here's more the central area of Darling Park. Get a view of the city from here too. It's very sunny today. We have an IMAX theater, which we don't think was here the last time we were here, but we can't remember for certain whether or not there was.
Hotel.
What's that?
It's in the W Hotel.
W Hotel? Okay, I don't know if that was...
High-end hotel.
It might have been here. This might have been here. The hotel, anyways.
No, the hotel wasn't.
No?
We were building it.
Okay. So anyways, there's all kinds of little places to eat, restaurants all down all over there.
Tower wasn't here.
Oh no, it wasn't. I wonder what that is. It's the Pointy Tower. The Pointy Tower, that's it, the Pointy Tower. So yeah, these hotels down here are very expensive to stay in because you're in prime area, of course. And so we continue our walk along the, I don't know if you would call it a boardwalk. I guess there is part of a boardwalk down there. This is more of a path, but you can see here all the areas for dining, the marina, skyline of part of the city. And then over on the other side of the harbor, we have a Novotel and an Ibis Hotel, which are all relatively expensive. Well, Walter says the Ibis is not that expensive, but it's a hole. So, very nice area. Interesting little fountain water piece. There's a lot of these different ones here, and that clock up in the background. A lot of neat architecture here, or art, I suppose. Another shot from the other end of Darling Harbour. Things have changed a little bit since we were here last, because we thought there were more places to eat than there seems to be, but maybe that big hotel has taken up a lot of space that was there before. Don't know. We have conflicting views about that. Walter remembers it one way, I remember it another way. And this is the aquarium here. And there in the distance is an old ship. I imagine it takes you out on cruises or something like that along here in the harbor. Might be fun, might not be, I don't know. So we're having lunch at a place called Henley's. And a lot of the tables out here, which is left over from COVID, you can scan this barcode and order your meal that way. Now here you don't have table service. You still have to go up and pay for it, and then they bring it out to you according to the table number you've ordered it from. Seems like a very popular place. So we both ordered the chicken parm and a couple of beers. Here comes the waitress. So we're just waiting for them to bring out our lunch here. Just had a squeaky bird over top of us. Hope it's not a bird that wants to do anything to us, like drop things on us. But anyways, Walter's looking for the bird, as you can see. Do you see him?
Yeah.
You do? Where is he?
Right above us. On the railing.
On the what? On the rail?
On the rail. See at the top?
Oh,
Or he just flew off.
there he goes. There he is over there. That's what was making all the noise. Oops, there he goes, fly away. Okay, so we got the rental car. And the hardest part about that wasn't getting it into the parking, not getting to the hotel with the parking garage. It was Walter trying to park it in the parking garage. That was painful, very painful. I mean, it wasn't anything special or whatever. Also, Walter has a little trouble getting out of cars because he has to get out on the right-hand side. How many of you get out of a car with your rear end first?
Well, I didn't think the door would open far enough, and I was trying to figure out.
What? Is your rear end that big? You didn't think you get out of the door?
I'm not used to getting out of that side.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I had to help him, direct him into the spot. So, yeah.
Well, it's hard because you're sitting on the right-hand side. I'm used to sitting on the left-hand side, so I can't really. And it's a different car than I'm used to driving, so I'm worried about hitting something.
Hopefully, after we've been on the road for maybe tomorrow for a couple of hours, it'll all come back to him. I mean, you've done it before, so it's been a bit of a time since you've done it. Right. What else happened? Last night we met up with my nephew and his partner and had a nice evening out with them. We went for drinks to one bar and then went across the street to a restaurant and had a nice meal there. Wasn't particularly inexpensive. It might have been we had 2 bottles of wine, and their wine was definitely not cheap. Because those bottles, it was just a Sauvignon Blanc, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were $72 each.
Wow, for Sauvignon Blanc. So that was something. But it was nice to see them. And here's your lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So there's what we got, chicken parmesan with fries and salad. Looks actually quite good. Guy's gone off to get us some flatware, so we'll eat that now. So this is the town hall, we think, from this side. We were at that in it yesterday when we went and saw the Banksy. I never can say that right. What, you don't think it is? No, well, we could be wrong. Well, it's an old building. It's kind of interesting architecturally. We're not sure what it is. Okay, I was wrong. Walter's still looking it up.
The thing is pointing. It doesn't make sense because, oh, there's George Street. Yeah, it looks like, it says Westpac is next door to it, so I don't know. And that's just a hotel.
Okay, we've come to the conclusion we don't know what it is, so there it is.